First and foremost, thank you very much for our Creator in heaven giving us this new day and life for us to come and communicate one another through this portal. And of course, to the administration of the Kalinga State University and the whole community of the university, allowing us to join with this online or virtual presentation. And of course, thank you very much for the organizer of this fair or educational activity so that the faculty and even the non-academic teaching staff of the different universities and colleges in the Philippines or even in abroad could come and exchange their ideas or their observations or experiences through this what we call research presentation. So the title of our paper entitled Christianization of Early Settlers in Tabuk, Kalinga. So we have here a companions, Madam Desiree Sumika, Madam Desiree Sanmadan, and Madam Pinky Larcel Langay. So both of us or all of these faculty members are teaching at the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences at the Kalinga State University, Dagupan campus. So Tabuk was once called the Valley of the Gamunangs. In a book written by one of the Spanish missionaries, the Gamunangs are believed to be the first inhabitants of the valley. As told by older men, this tribe was not only hostile but malevolent to other tribes. The antagonistic and hostile attitude provoked the anger of the southern Kalinga tribes, who later joined forces and began attacking the Gamonangs. The united invasion by these allied tribes upon the Gamonangs left many dead in the battlefield. Soon a terrible epidemic followed, which almost totally wiped out the Gamonang tribe. The fools who escaped death are believed to have fled of Isabela, an old mountain province. Since then, the valley became a no man's land. The Kalingas dreaded living in the valley. They superstitiously evaded the valley of the Gamunangs and sought refuge living in the hills and mountains surrounding the valley. The valley became the heaven of wild animals like deer, hogs, horse, carabaos, and chicken. The name of Tabuk evolved from the word tubug, the name of a living stream with cool and fresh water flowing from Sitio Paligato in Barangay Balawag down to Chico River. The whole area traversed by stream is called Tubug. From this place came three of the first volunteer settlers sent by government under the leadership of Lieutenant Governor Walter F. A. to settle in the valley. They carried with them the name of their sitio Tubug. The name Tubug underwent a series of changes, resulting finally in its present name Tabuk, based from Souvenir Program 1996. The study utilized the timeline strategy in presenting data coupled with photo documentation. Focus group discussions and informal interviews were also used, as well as personal observation to the site was done. Important documents relative for the establishment of these missionary stations were borrowed from the mission documents and parish offices. The objectives is to identify the successful missionaries who entered to the vicinity of Tabuk Kalinga, to appreciate the contributions of these missionaries who serve as evangelists, preachers, teachers at mission schools at Tabuk, and to list down the religious actions, undertakings, movements of this Dominican order. Expected output is to come up with a simple but final written material records for the ecclesiastical history of Tabuk, now Tabuk City, Kalinga. It was in 1951 wherein Ferdinand Magellan's expedition from Spain brought the first Catholics to the Philippines. The first Augustinian missionary arrived in 1565. The Dominicans established their university in 1611, and the Jesuits established their first college in 1695. During the 17th and 18th centuries, the Philippines served as a base for missions to Japan, China, and Cambodia. The Catholic Church retained its Spanish character and discriminated against the few national priests during much of 19th century, based from World Christian Encyclopedia. The study shows a timeline presentation of the coming of the Dominicans in Tabuk, now Tabuk City, Kalinga. It was in 1668, a chapel was built in Tuga by a Dominican missionary based from Mission Profile Apostolic Vicariate of Tabuk, 1992. Then February 2, 1689, Mass was said for the first time in a chapel in Tuga on the west bank of Chico River, Tabuk, Kalinga. Converts are attracted from Limos and Mabaca, based from Iskat 1968. It was in April 26, 1692, the church and the convent were inaugurated. The last parish priest with residence in Tuga had made the mission of Tuga an outpost of Tuao. It was in 1709 the people of San Bartolome's mission, Asingan, have a disagreement with the Igorots, resulting in the burning of the church and the closing of the mission. St. Joseph's mission Tuga Tabuk was destroyed by its converts after their priest was transferred and they returned to the Kalinga Mountains. 1729, the Spanish mission known in history as San Jose de Tuga was built by Father Enriquez. 1738, Kalinga chieftain Datol invites Father Bernabe de la Magdalena to open mission work at Minanga near Nanang, Tabuk City now. 1741, the Tabuk converts have a disagreement. Some moved downstream nearer to Wau, and the others revolted and returned to the mountains. In August the same year, they came back and killed those who did not revolt. 1830, Colonel Guillermo Galvez ordered that first forts were established in Bukay and Baay, Abra, to protect Spanish subjects from the attack of the natives. 1840s, punitive expeditions from these ports penetrated across the Cordillera as far as Lubuagan. 1846, Military Governor Mariano Oscares accordingly entered the headwaters of the Tanulan River from Ifugao and listed more than 2,000 households in Lubo, Dakalan, Gaang, Patyakang, Mangali, Lokot, and Lubuagan as submissive to Spanish rule. 1859, Politico-Military Commandancy of Saltan was established at Magaugao on the west bank of the Chico, opposite the mouth of the Saltan River. 1872, this force was replaced by the troops of the Guardia Civil, a kind of 19th century PC, or Philippine Constabulary, and the local people began move out of the area. 1879, the commandancy had disappeared from the Spanish records. The troops had all got sick of malaria. 1889, Governor General Valeriano Weyler decided to reactivate the old command as part of his plan for military occupation of the whole Cordillera. The new command was called Itaves, from the name of the Itawis language spoken in Tabuk area, and the capital was placed at Tabuk, although it was called Magaugao like the older capital. October 8, 1889, the Comandancia Politico-Military de Itaves is established with headquarters at Magaugao, Tabuk, Kalinga to replace the Commandancy of Saltan. Natalio O. Odena is the first commandant, but he died 6 months later of malaria. August 30, 1890, the headquarters of the Itaves is moved to Mount Tabuk, or Bolanao, Tabuk, from Magaugao by Commandancy Alejandro del Gras. March 9, 1891, Father Ramon Zobieta arrives in Bolanao, Tabuk, and begins the construction of a church. October 3, 1892, the name of the Tabis capital is changed to Odena. March 25, 1898, the new church in Odena, Bolanao, Tabuk is blessed. So here are the present physical structures of these churches or in the Dominican missionaries established within the vicinity of Tabuk, Kalinga. So this is the present church in Tabuk City. Then the next, the present church established or built in Naning, Tabuk City. And we have here also the side view of this church. And we have here the church present in Bolanao, Tabuk City. To conclude, Catholicism left as a product of Spanish colonization to the different corners of the Philippines, except for some places like the Muslim villages in Mindanao and some parts of the Cordillera region. However, the conversion of these hostile native people proved futile, and so they left the mission. In Tabuk, for instance, the Chico River has a strong influence, inviting missionaries to put up a mission stations. So these mission stations were erected near or along the Chico River. As an evidence, the different parts of the Cordillera region was divided into politico-military commandancy, or closer and easier to conquer. The Igorots, the same with the strategy of the Spanish authorities, divide and conquer. We can witness then by presenting the timeline of events on this paper that Spanish military soldiers and missionaries were sent to explore the Cordillera region, establishing garrison and mission stations. So we have here some major recommendations. This paper paved way for local historians, local church leaders, clergies, and other interested historical writers to completely write and publish a concrete ecclesiastical history of Tabuk, now Tabuk City, Kalinga. An in-depth study of the coming in of religious orders of Tabuk, Kalinga should be undertaken. Another similar study will be undertaken to furtherly enrich this paper. So we have here our references. Scott William Henry, 1975. The Barangay Agenda for Governance and Development, Barangay Sokput, Pinokpok, Kalinga. The Mission Profile Apostolic Barkayat of Tabuk, 1992. The Souvenir Program of the 46th Foundation Anniversary Municipality of Tabuk, 1996. The World Christian Encyclopedia.